Okay, picture this. 4 ancient, ruthless mages, all masters of forgotten arts, locked in a devastating battle for ultimate power. The entire magical academy is literally crumbling around them. So what is the grand prize they're fighting for?
They're fighting over who can collect the most little achievement tokens to impress a sentient magical plant.
And that is the glorious absurdity we are here for. Welcome to the deep dive into Black Rose Wars. This is a game of, just over-the-top fantasy and really deep complexity. We're using the rule book itself as our source to give you the shortcut to understanding the flow, the strategy, and all the mechanics of this magical brawl.
Right. Our mission is to take this really intimidating rule structure and just distill it into something you can actually use. We need to get not just the spells, but the timing, the trade-offs, and how these mages navigate the bureaucracy of blowing things up.
Okay, let's unpack that core objective first. We're all mages of the Order of the Black Rose. We want to become the new Grand Master. How do we prove we're worthy?
It all comes down to power points. PP, you just need more than everybody else. But the key is the clock. The game ends, immediately. The second any token of mages, or, crucially, the Black Rose's own token hits, or goes over 30 power points.
That's the real twist, isn't it? We're in this frantic race against each other, but also against the school itself winning. If that Black Rose token hits 31st, everyone loses.
Exactly. It creates this immediate tension right from the start. And the slaughter begins in the Black Rose Lodge, specifically in each mage's little meditation room, their cell.
I find the starting setup so funny. Your cell is your respawn point, and it's a safe place, immune to player effects. You can't be targeted there.
But you're forced to leave.
You are obliged to leave immediately. You have to spend an action or even sacrifice a spell just to move one room away. It's a safe space you have to abandon on turn 1.
It's all about forcing confrontation. And the pace of that confrontation is all governed by the moon phases. They're like milestones for the game's intensity.
So when the first token, anyone's token, hits 6 PP, we enter the second moon.
Right. And then hitting 18 PP triggers the third moon.
And the game actually shifts when that happens, right? What specifically changes?
A few critical things. The event and quest cards get harder, but more rewarding. And this is the big one, reaching the second moon is what lets you activate the Black Rose Room, which is how you get access to the most powerful forgotten spells in the game.
Right, so you need to score points to unlock the big guns.
Exactly.
Okay, if that's the pacing, let's get into the structure. This is a game with a very, very rigid 6-step game turn.
The 6 steps to magical supremacy. We start with phase 1. The Black Rose phase.
This is all about setting the stage. So the mage with the crown token, they become the first player for the turn. Then events shift on the board.
And this is where the Black Rose starts to score. Every time an event moves off the board or a new one comes on, the Black Rose gains power points. Even instant events, which you resolve right away, give the Black Rose points when they're drawn and when they leave. You have to watch that tracker.
And after events, quests. If you don't have a quest, you have to draw one.
Right, but you can never hold more than 2 uncompleted quests. And here's a little strategic choice.
All right.
If you draw a quest you hate, you can discard it, but you have to pay the Black Rose for it.
What's the cost?
Power points equal to the moon phase of that quest. So discarding a phase 2 quest costs the Black Rose 2 PP. It's like a magical inefficiency tax.
Phase 2 is the study phase. This is where you get new cards. You start by drawing 2 cards from your Grimoire, which is your personal deck.
Then you go to the library, you draw 4 cards from the shared School of Magic decks, pick 2 you like, and discard the other 2 face up for everyone to see.
You mentioned lightening the Grimoire. What's the strategic nugget there? Why is that so powerful?
Well, normally your discard pile just gets shuffled back in later. But here, the rules say if you have a useless card from your Grimoire, you can discard it to the public discard pile. That spell is now gone from your deck rotation for good.
Ah, so you're actively filtering out the weak cards to make your future draws stronger. You're deck sculpting on the fly.
Exactly. It's not just about what you need now. It's about making your future turns more efficient.
Okay, phase 3 is preparation. This is the secret strategy part where it gets really tense.
It really does. You secretly place between 2 and 4 spells face down as your ready spells. You have to commit to their order and, crucially, their orientation. Are you using the straight effect or the reverse effect?
Wait, hold on. Spells have 2 different effects.
Yeah, they're dual-sided. The straight effect might be a huge fireball, but the reverse might be like gain a power point or move your minion. You're locking in what type of action you're taking before you have any idea what your opponent is planning. It's a huge gamble.
And one of those is your flexible quick spell, but the others, the standard spells, have to be played in the exact order you set them.
It's high-stakes poker. You have to predict what everyone else is doing and hope you plan better.
So if Phase 3 was the quiet planning, Phase 4, the action phase, is where all that planning explodes into chaos.
This is the duel. Players take turns performing combinations of actions until everyone's out of spells and their 2 physical action tokens.
Let's nail down the combinations, because this is key. You can do a physical action with a standard spell, or a physical action with a quick spell.
Or a standard spell with a quick spell.
But the one thing you cannot do is cast 2 standard spells in one go. You have to weave in either a physical action or your quick spell to chain your big moves together.
And for those physical actions, you have a choice.
A very important choice. Path 1, movement. Move up to your max. Then you can choose to activate the room you land in. Path 2, physical attack. Do your basic damage, and again, you can choose to activate the room you're in.
So it's move or attack. You can't do both in one physical action.
Right. And that room activation is huge, especially when you get to the Black Rose room.
Talk about the cost for that, because it's brutal. It is. To activate the central Black Rose room, you have to discard 4 spells from your hand. Just toss them. Then you draw 3 of those super powerful forgotten spells and get to keep 1.
4 spells, that could be your whole turn. Is one of those single-use spells really worth it?
I mean, often, yes. They are genuine game changers. You're trading tactical flexibility for just, raw power.
And that power often creates instability. Your colored damage tokens get placed on the room tile you're standing in.
And every room has a resistance value. Once you fill up its instability slots, the room becomes unstable. The lodge is falling apart, but you don't get the reward for that destruction just yet.
Okay, let's talk about the tools for a second. The spells, there are 4 main types.
Yep, combat spells are for damage. Contingency is your utility bucket summoning things, gaining PP, moving around.
And then the reactive ones, protection and traps. You cast these face down.
Protections trigger when you get targeted by something nasty. Traps trigger when a specific condition is met, like another player walking into the room.
There's a vital distinction there with defenses, right? Avoid versus cancel.
A huge distinction. If your spell says you avoid an effect, only you are safe. The spell still hits everyone else it was targeting. If it says cancel, the entire spell just fizzles. It affects no one. Knowing that can save an ally. Or not.
Some of those contingency spells summon evocations, which brings us to Phase 5, the evocation phase.
The creature feature. Starting with the first player, you get to activate any or all of your summoned minions. Each one can move and then attack.
And they use your damage tokens when they attack, which means they're draining your personal supply of instability cubes.
That's right. It's that rule of the cruel mage again. If you run out of cubes in your reserve, you can't cause damage or instability, even if your spell says you should. You have to manage your resources.
Finally, we hit Phase 6, the cleanup phase, the reset.
And the reckoning. Your played spells go to your discard pile, your action tokens flip back over.
But wait, that rule about untriggered spells is a game changer. Untriggered protections are discarded.
But untriggered traps go back to your hand.
You get them back. That's a massive advantage for trap-focused mages. If no one springs your trap, you just get to use that card again next turn.
It absolutely is. It encourages clever positioning. And this is also when we check on those unstable rooms. If a room's instability is high enough, it gets destroyed. It's flipped over, and the activation token is awarded.
And the person who gets that token and the power points on it is the mage who put the most instability on that room.
But if there's a tie for the most, the Black Rose wins the token. So it gets even more points, pushing everyone closer to that 30-point game end.
So once cleanup is done, we check the board. Anyone at 30? If so, game over. But the scoring isn't done.
Not at all. Now you have the big endgame bonus points. You get points for completed quests, points for trophy tokens from killing opponents, all the points from your destroyed room tokens.
And even 1 point just for holding the crown.
Right. And after all that magical accounting, if there's still a tie, the game has one last, beautifully arbitrary twist.
How does it break the tie?
First by most completed quests, then most trophies. If it's still tied after that, the player holding the crown token just gets to decide who wins.
No way. After all that epic spell slinging, the winner might just be a political appointment by the person who happened to be first player last.
It's the perfect chaotic ending. Which brings us to the final thought for you to consider. In this game, destruction is how you win. You get trophies for defeating rivals and power points for blowing up the rooms. So given that the Black Rose itself can win, how much should you focus on just selfishly causing instability, even if you know a rival might get the final reward for it?
You're constantly walking this line between short-term gain and the long-term risk of just handing the game to the board itself. That tension between cooperation and rivalry is what makes it so good. So what side of that line would you fall on until the next deep dive?
In the halls of the Black Rose Lodge, the mages wake, their powers forged. From ancient tomes their spells ignite, a battle waged in arcane light. Through fire and shadow, through frost and storm, we weave our magic, we change our form. The Black Rose watches, it twists and turns. Only the strongest shall rule and burn. Black Rose wars, the spellbooks clash. Through arcane fury, the ruins crash. Master the darkness, embrace the fight. Only one stands in the endless night. From cell to chamber, we carve our fate. The Grimoire whispers, the runes dictate. A game of power, deceit and might. The Order's throne is won by right. Through fire and shadow, through frost and storm, we weave our magic, we change our form. The Black Rose watches, it twists and turns. Only the strongest shall rule and burn. Black Rose wars, the spellbooks clash. Through arcane fury, the ruins crash. Master the darkness, embrace the fight. Only one stands in the endless night. The artifact whispers, it calls my name, tempting souls with unholy flame. I rise above, I claim